Pittsburgh has a storied football history, and it goes beyond just the NFL's Pittsburgh Steelers. The local high schools have produced countless professional players over the years, especially at quarterback. Legendary signal callers Johnny Unitas and Dan Marino played their prep ball in the Steel City. And if you go out to the surrounding areas, more Hall of Famers like Joe Namath, Jim Kelly, and Joe Montana have called Western Pennsylvania home.
Western Pennsylvania, if you ask anybody, I think pretty much in the country, they're going to, equate that with football. Especially the rich tradition we've had, especially with quarterbacks. With the Dan Marinos and the Joe Namaths and Johnny, and the list goes on and on and on.
Back in 2007, Western PA boasted the #1 prospect in the country, current Washington wide receiver Terrell Pryor, who played quarterback at Jeannette High School. He was the first player in Western Pennsylvania history to pass for 2,000 yards and rush for 1,000 in the same season. But now, he has company.
Go.
Phil Jurkovec of Pine-Richland High School accomplished that feat in his sophomore season, and he's been one of the best players in the country ever since.
I would hear about it, about the stats and everything, but I didn't really focus on it. I just focused on winning, and my entire goal was just to put up as many points on the scoreboard as possible to win a state title.
We were coming off of the best year in the history of Pine-Richland. We were in state finals, 15-1, broke all kinds of records. And Phil came in and followed that next year, so we, the expectations were still high, but we knew we lost quite a bit, so it was kind of a question mark year. But Phil had an outstanding year. And it's one thing, in my opinion, to be able to do it in a small classification where you're the big fish and amongst not many good. He's doing the biggest classification, in my opinion, one of the top 5 states in the whole country, and to play at the level he plays at, it's extremely impressive.
The 6'2" senior QB may look like your typical pocket passer, but he often surprises opponents with his quickness.
And I think it's a little deceiving. You see him, he looks, I don't want to say a string bean, but he's a tall kid, and he's 210, 215 pounds right now, and a lot of room to get thicker as he gets to the next level. But he might get clocked at a 4.6, but on that field he's running as fast as anybody out there.
It's important to me. I think you have to have a certain ability to make plays and to scramble if you want to be a great quarterback. It's not the biggest thing, for sure. You have to be able to throw the ball, and I realize that's the biggest thing, but being able to use my feet to make plays is very big for me.
Also a starter for the Pine-Richland basketball team, Phil says being a multi-sport athlete has proven to be beneficial in his development.
Well, I think it's definitely helped. I used to play baseball a little bit too. Any sports that you can play, because the cross-training, I believe that helps all the time.
One word you often hear from people who describe Phil is leadership. Whether it's his teammates or one of his 4 siblings, others are drawn to the example he sets.
I see how Phil is a leader on the field and off the field, and it inspires me to do just the same in my sports.
I think he's pretty well known for being this competitor, like he wants to win. And when he's playing a game, it's like he's going in there into battle with his teammates. And it's funny because when he walks in the door, he is more inclined to go play with his baby sister than he is to mention something about himself. He never makes it about himself. It's always about other people.
I try to be the example of the hardest worker. I try to motivate my teammates by just going as hard as I possibly can. And once they see that, I think they do.
It's just awesome to play with him, someone that's such a good leader that can lead vocally and physically. He's just a really humble person too, so he's good to be around, and I think he's just a great teammate, great quarterback. He really knows the game well, he makes great decisions, and he's definitely the best player I've played with.
It's his leadership, it's his work ethic, his competitive drive is what I think sets him apart from other quarterbacks that I've coached and seen around.
Phil's breakout sophomore season caught the attention of colleges nationwide, but there was one particular offer that stood out.
Really looking back at it, it just kind of happened out of nowhere. There he was just playing for his high school team, enjoying being a part of the team, and then out of nowhere these offers started coming in from everywhere. Notre Dame, though, was particularly special for him because he was like a lifelong Notre Dame fan. I think he was 4 when he got his first jersey, and he's just been a big fan.
Phil verbally committed to Notre Dame in the spring of his sophomore year, and he's looking forward to a bright future with the Irish.
I was a little bit overwhelmed at first, but after weighing my options, and Notre Dame was always a school that I loved, I knew that was the place for me. The whole experience, the ability to go and compete for a national title in football, while also getting a great degree. Just the combination was important to me.
I think Phil's got an extremely high ceiling. You know, he's got the attributes, he's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the athletic ability, he's got the work ethic, he's got the toughness, the competitiveness. So I think Notre Dame's an awesome fit. They run a very similar style offense. And, you know, I don't know a better place really to put a guy to that next level than Notre Dame.
While the bar may be pretty high for quarterbacks coming out of Western Pennsylvania, Phil Jurkovec has already found his way into the state's record books. Don't be surprised if he has more chapters to write.